Karoline Leavitt joins us now, the most popular woman in media. Before we get into you versus CNN, I think this is an important part of the story. Your due date is when?
My due date is in 3 weeks.
Okay, so at 8 months plus pregnant, you just went on CNN and you knocked out Casey Hunt. I'm told that's how you pronounce her name. I didn't even know who the CNN morning host was. When you rightly pointed out, wait a minute, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash have been saying that Trump and comparing Trump to Hitler. That's kind of a big deal, I think, considering they're the moderators. Were you stunned that they pulled the plug on you during that interview?
I was absolutely shocked, yes. It is truly shocking how triggering the truth is to CNN. All I was doing was pointing out statements that Jake Tapper has made on the air. So why is he allowed to go on air on CNN and push anti-Trump lies, but I'm not allowed to bring them up? I mean, it was really crazy that she cut me off so abruptly. And, I was doing this interview from a remote studio, and I couldn't see the program, so I didn't realize she had cut me off. I was answering her question about our strategy and President Trump's plan to talk about immigration and inflation. And no, the producer had to tell me they booted me off the network for bringing up the truth about fake Tapper, which is utterly ridiculous. And by the way, proves my entire point that this debate on Thursday is going to be unfair in a hostile environment, and everyone knows it.
Karoline, it's funny you mentioned that because I played audio for the guys and gals listening out there on the show. 7 years ago, they did the same thing to me on CNN. This doesn't happen very often. We're on an interview, they pull the plug. But if you don't have a return feed, and I didn't, you're for kind of taking people behind the scenes here. If you don't have a return feed of your camera, you are just talking into a camera lens, as I'm doing right now on Clay and Buck for our video VIP subscribers. You don't know that they pulled the plug, so you're still there talking, and then somebody has to get in your ear, and they're like, actually, they took you off the air. I mean, you've done a lot of interviews. Has anything like this ever happened to you?
No, I've never been booted off of a network. I don't know if I should wear it as a badge of honor or what, especially since
yes,
it's CNN.
100% you should. So here's the question then, Karoline. Doesn't this draw way more attention to Jake Tapper and Dana Bash than if they had just let you make your argument instead of censoring you and cutting you off? I mean, I saw this clip as soon as I woke up this morning, and I said, oh my goodness, this is such a huge win for Team Trump and Karoline.
If I were fake Tapper, I'd be very upset with my colleague, Casey Hunt, for cutting me off the air today because it brought so much more attention to him than this man wants 4 days ahead of the debate. I mean, there are a plethora of videos now on Twitter or X showing all of Jake Tapper's statements. If they had just let me speak, I would have said my part and we would have moved on. But no, they couldn't handle it. And so now the whole world is talking about how fake Tapper is. And it's not just Jake Tapper, by the way. It's also Dana Bash, too. She has a history of being very much anti-Trump. And you know what? It's okay. We know that. President Trump knows who these people are. He's going to debate no matter what. But they continue to act like they're fair and unbiased journalists, which is just a load of crap. I mean, CNN has now doubled down saying they're two of their most veteran journalists in the country. I mean, give us a break. People have eyes and they have ears, and they can see and hear what these people have said for years. And their cutting me off today, again, just proved our point and has actually really, really backfired for the entire network.
So for people out there who are watching this, and we're talking to Karoline Leavitt, super viral, getting kicked off CNN this morning, Trump is traveling all over the country doing events as his prep for the debate. Joe Biden has basically locked himself in Camp David for a week to try to get ready for this 90-minute debate. By itself, what does the preparation methods of Trump and Biden tell us?
Well, it tells us Joe Biden is incapable of serving this country. The fact that he has to hide away in the woods very far from the cameras at Camp David and does not have one publicly scheduled event between now and the debate, I mean, you can't do prep for a few hours and then also host a press conference or something. I mean, that is actually deeply concerning that the leader of the free world cannot do a few things at the same time. And it's a sharp contrast to President Trump's schedule. I can tell you the man is still working around the clock. He's hosting fundraisers. He's doing hostile media interviews, which is the best debate prep of all. And he's also been taking questions directly from American voters, the most important audience. He was in Philly this past Saturday. Not only did he give an hours-long speech, he also stopped by a cheesesteak shop and took questions from voters directly. So President Trump is well prepared. Joe Biden's team clearly feels like he is not. That's why they are hiding him away in the woods with a bunch of advisors who are drilling talking points into his head, which, again, is concerning considering this is a man who's been in politics for 51 years, like twice as long as I've been alive almost. But he still needs to be told what to say. He doesn't know where he stands on policy. It just shows you they know that his record has been indefensible, and they need to very much prepare to defend Joe Biden's terrible policies that have led our country into the ground over the last 3.5 years.
Karoline, should the Trump team be concerned that CNN's going to leak questions in advance to Joe Biden, given the fact that we know leaked questions have happened in Democrat-related debates in the past?
Well, based on the history of these debates, it certainly wouldn't shock us. Again, we know what President Trump is getting into on Thursday. We're fully aware of that. But it speaks to President Trump's determination that even with the cards stacked against him on Thursday night, he's still willing to go into this cage match and fight a 3-on-1 fight with all of the rules in favor of Joe Biden. And he's doing it because he made a promise to the American people that he would debate Biden anytime, anywhere, any place. And that's exactly what he's doing. And you think Joe Biden would do this with maybe you as the moderator, Clay? I don't think so, right? Like, there's zero chance.
And I would be, by the way, way fairer than fake Tapper is. I haven't said as many bad things about Biden as he said about Trump. I've never compared him to Hitler. Last question for you, Karoline. I'd be happy to host a debate. So would Buck. We know you're having a baby boy, if I remember correctly. Have you picked the name yet?
Yes, we have picked a name. It's after my
Is it public?
my husband. It is public. It's after my husband. His name is Nicholas, but we're going to call him Nico for short. So it goes with our last name, which I don't use for work because, Karoline Leavitt's already established out there. I'm getting kicked off of CNN, but it goes with our name. It's a nice Italian name, and he should be here any day now, which is totally crazy.
It is crazy. You're kicking ass, and you're over 8 months pregnant. Karoline, I also love the name Nico because he's going to be the new starting quarterback of the University of Tennessee Volunteers is named Nico. So this is a good omen for me doubling down here. Karoline, congrats in advance. Keep doing fantastic work, and thank you for making the time for us today.
Anytime, Clay. Thank you so much.